Hi, I'm Maryann. I've been a nurse for 26 years, worked in neonatal nursing, pediatric, and in pediatric intensive care. My first experience in a code was shortly after I came off orientation when I started on inpatient pediatrics. I had just finished taking the Pediatric Advanced Life Support course, so I was prepared and ready for whatever the job was going to throw at me. So in the hospital where I work, our pediatric nurses respond to all codes, pediatric codes in the emergency department. That's how it used to be. We got word that a child was coming in, a 9-month-old, and so it was my turn to go down to the emergency room for the code, and we had a student nurse on the floor, and I thought, hey, come along for the experience. No doubt in my mind that this was going to be a positive outcome. So when we arrived, the EMS crew brought in the 9-month-old infant, and when I saw that the PALS instructor I had just had was on the ambulance squad, I had no doubt that this was going to be a good response. So we started CPR, and there was no heart rate and no breathing, and we did everything we were supposed to because apparently this baby was found unresponsive after a nap in its crib. So it was a SIDS case that we did not know at the time. So we began compressions and giving epi, and then we had to defibrillate, and just because I was on this particular side of the bed, the physician said, go ahead and shock the baby. And I seriously looked at him and said, me? And he said, yeah, you're closest, so just do it. So I did, and that was a surreal experience, particularly doing it on a 9-month-old infant. It didn't work. So we continued CPR and defibrillated again and again. And as they say, despite our best efforts, we weren't able to revive the baby. And we actually continued that code, which we do in pediatrics, continue for longer periods of time than we do in the adult world, for over an hour. I realized as I was walking away, I didn't even know the baby's name. As I was leaving the ER, I locked eyes with the mother, and it broke my heart. I put my head down and went back up to the unit, and then as I was leaving, I heard the sound that many of us in nursing will never forget, not just a cry, it's when it's a wail, and the parents just devastated over the loss of their child. And after I went and got myself together, it did occur to me that I had a 9-month-old baby at home, and how fair was that for me to go home to my live child, and this mom had lost hers. I went home, I came back to work the following Monday, and there was a message for me from the mother of the child that coded, and she wanted me to call her. It took me a couple days to get the courage to give her a call, because I thought, I owed her at least that, and I just couldn't imagine what she wanted to say. And I called her and I said, hi, I'm returning your call. And all she really wanted to know, and this was important to her, was if her baby ever had a heartbeat through the process. And I think it had to do with the fact that, when they laid her down to the for a nap, that she feels she should have checked on her sooner, but didn't. But I did tell her what I knew and was honest, that I heard they thought they had a heartbeat in the ambulance return at one point. And so I told her that, and she was relieved, because that she came back a little bit and just didn't die at the house. So it was hard, and I carry this story with me and every single day to this day, and it's as if it happened yesterday. And it made me realize that when you respond to a code, it's not always a positive outcome. And it made me realize how lucky I am for all the blessings in my life, healthy children, And I try to ease the pain and suffering of the parents on the other side of the bed and imagine if this was my child, how would I feel? So I think that's helped me be a better nurse and empathize with parents in difficult situations, particularly when I'm working in the pediatric intensive care unit. So that was my first code.